before we get into Neuroflex and all these tools that you utilize to optimize the brain, which is such an important organ system of our body, can you discuss some of the main challenges for the brain or main things that impact it in a negative way that we're seeing today? I know it's never just one thing, but what are the types of things you're looking for with clients to say, we got to watch out for this?
Right. So I think, thinking about it on a, kind of evaluating the brain on a metabolic level, I've been really interested because that's really what, we're able to see as far as the electrical activity of the brain. We're able to see different patterns showing, underactivity, hypometabolism in the brain, and also patterns of overactivity. So, really looking at different brainwave signatures and seeing how some people really get locked into states of fight or flight, kind of chronic stress. I think obviously is a big culprit that everyone's talking about. Past head injuries is another big one that people, even if they might not say when I initially asked if they'd had a past concussion, but we can see clear evidence with a brain scan that there was, an impact. So that's a common thing that I see in people's brain scans that I think plays a big role into how their brains are functioning, up to this day. A lot of people I work with told me that, they experience like their memory is just not quite as good as it was, or, they feel like the anxiety or depression they're experiencing started, sometime kind of after a head injury that they usually went to a neurologist for. And they were told, oh, you just go home, sleep it off. Like you're not, there wasn't really any explicit treatment given, and I found that untreated head injuries is a big culprit of people's current mental health or brain performance issues. And then just, as far as like environmental, see what I experienced with mold, I work with, I think mold is something that's now being talked about a lot more. I think people were experiencing all these issues that they didn't know what was really at the root cause. And, now a lot more people are talking about mold, and a lot of clients I've worked with, have some kind of mold exposure, and that's playing some kind of role in the symptoms they're experiencing. Then I would say also just, as far as things that we're putting into our body that we probably shouldn't, in terms of, alcohol, sugar, everyone's talking about seed oils now, right? So all of these things I think play a factor into kind of creating this neural inflammation that we're not able to really see, right? Because, for me, if I eat certain foods, if I drink a glass of cow's milk, I'm going to usually break out in acne, and I'm able to see that clear feedback that my body is getting into an inflammatory state. Whereas for so many people, when, the brain is getting inflamed, but we can't really see that. We feel sluggish. We forget words. We feel that brain fog, but we can't necessarily see it. So I think that, a lot of people taking in certain things that we kind of view as fine, or people don't necessarily think that they have as big of an impact on the brain as they do until they cut them out, and then feel so much better eliminating gluten or dairy or sugar or alcohol. So I think those are some of the big culprits.
Yeah. And those culprits lead us to rely on things like caffeine and stimulants to keep us awake, to stimulate the brain because it's not functioning properly. But then we have to use sleeping pills at night, and that doesn't give us into a regenerative state where our brain is really, really kind of recouping overnight, lymphatic system working, all of these things. So it's a vicious cycle, I say, what's going on today with our brains. And it's really unfortunate because if you look at what we most use today in our non-industrial type of age, information age, it's brain power, it's focus, it's cognition. And so if you don't have it, you're at a huge hindrance just in, everyday life.